This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL, home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
SEC, ACC, NFL, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Now, the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter on 1010XL. Flavored by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Apex Roofing and Contracting. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green, Leon Searcy, and Coach Jerald Ingram.
Here we go from the 1-inch line. Quarterback sneak. He dives over the top. Touchdown. Jake Browning dove over the top. The Bengals have taken the lead with 18 seconds to play in the game.
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars radio, and with that, a very good Sunday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is the window world of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter, we are presented by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings with the coach, Jerald Ingram, the hacker, Ryan Green with you. Leon Searcy has the evening off tonight as the Jacksonville Jaguars fall to the Cincinnati Bengals 31-27 up in Cincinnati, and what was just quite frankly a bizarre football game, seeing Joe Burrow leave in the second quarter, seeing Jake Browning throw not one, not two, but 3 interceptions, and yet still leading Cincinnati to victory. There are certainly a lot of angles from this game we want to talk about. Phone lines are wide open at 641-1010 if you want to get involved. But as I bring the coach, Jerald Ingram, in right now, frustrating, disappointing seems to be the two best words to sum up what was a missed opportunity for the Jacksonville Jaguars today in Cincinnati, Ohio. Coach, your thoughts?
You know, it's a shame to lose a game like this. There's a lot of positives in this, and there's well enough negatives in this. There's no way that this game should have gone this way. There's in the beginning of the game, you'd say there's no way that that this offensive team and the way they're looking and moving the ball down the field, they look confident. The quarterback looks confident. He's very decisive. They're making all the right decisions, but they're still finding ways to hurt themselves. And that's the only way this team believe that they can come back and win in this game. It's not because their ability, other than, you know, we knew the 2 receivers that they have and the quarterback, but you already knocked him out. But you're not going to let this kind of these 2 receivers win the game for you, you know. And like I said, we found ways again to lose a game here in Jacksonville that we should have won. And we got to learn how to close games out, because we should have had more points in the first half. That would have made a difference. And we're finding penalties. We clean up some penalties, and then we find another area to have to address, and it's communication between the quarterback and making sure everybody's set, the coaches making sure that they understand what's being relayed and what the problem is. It didn't get fixed. It happened 4 to 5 times. You can't do that and be a winning team. You gotta put things in your favor. This is the NFL. Go out and win games, and then when your top players don't do their job in those type of situations, you know, you have to address it. And, they have 2 great receivers. We have a great receiver. He's got to make the plays that's presented in front of him. And that has to happen. No matter what the situation is, it has to happen. That's why you are where you are today, is to be a playmaker. And that's, we'll be talking about it, and everybody else will be talking about it during the week. In defense, you got to find a way that they don't score more than 20 points in the second half, no matter what the situation. Okay, that's where you are in the NFL. Okay, we let one slip away.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to get to the Brian Thomas Jr. situation, the defensive pass interference on Travis Hunter, the decision to go for it on 4th down and 5 there with about, 3 minutes to go, that instead of taking the field goal that would have given him a 6-point lead. There's a lot of different things to go through. But to sum up, Coach, and you just said it, and Liam Cohen's been saying it since he arrived here, changing the culture of this team, well, part of that is stop finding ways to lose games. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, again today, found a way to lose a game. and it doesn't even bother me anymore. And I was joking around with some buddies earlier that I was watching the game with. This is, I called it such a Jacksonville loss because time and time and time again, they find ways to lose games like this. It happened again today. Let's start talking about individual players. Phone lines are absolutely loaded. We'll take your calls coming up here. We're with you till 8 o'clock. 641-1010 here on the fifth quarter. Coach, your overall thoughts on the performance today of quarterback Trevor Lawrence?
I thought Trevor played probably a fairly smart game out there. Like I said, he was decisive. He knew where he was throwing in most situations. You know, there was one he let get away and take the points. Always take the points. Throw the ball away. We knew the defensive end was going to be a problem. If we could address that on that situation, he came barreling down on him, and we ended up getting an interception on that ball. Just throw it away. You know, it's a bad situation, but that should have been a touchdown. It should have been, and it didn't, and it changes a lot of different calls during the game by not having that. But still, you want to get points out of that situation. You know, there were some key guys out there. I thought on the offensive side, I thought he called, for the most part, I thought he called a pretty good game. I thought he gave them chances. I thought the utilization of the running backs was very good. ETN played a great game. You know, Tootin came out there and made some plays. You know, the rookie came in for a couple plays, not as many. But the utilization of the running back definitely made a difference in this game plan. So he showed that a week ago he could run the ball. This week that he could change up and throw the ball to the running backs as well as spread it around to his tight end, his wide receivers. Not as much to the tight ends this week because they were utilized in the protection. And that happens in a seven-man protection. They're chipping their way out. They're trying to figure out, I got a back to one side, a tight end help to the other. And then all of a sudden they moved Trey to the other side, to the right side, and end up in a one-on-one situation, end up getting a sack, you know. But there were some key good game planning, I thought, in this game. Not one time in the first half did I think that we were a pressured, lesser team playing away in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I thought we were the more dominant. I thought we quieted their crowd down. I think they were a little bit shocked. And then they actually were kind of like, how are they going to handle their adversity? Their number one quarterback gets knocked out. And you let them hang in there because of their receivers, not because of that quarterback. He's just a lucky son of a gun. He really is.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase made great plays. T. Higgins made great plays. It was not a great day for the Jaguars secondary. We'll get to that in a moment. Back to Trevor Lawrence. He should have had 4 touchdown throws because De'Ami Brown in the NFL, if you're an NFL wide receiver, you got to catch that ball 100 out of 100 times. That is a horrific drop. If De'Ami Brown catches that ball, it changes the entire complexion of the game. How you drop that, I don't even know. So Trevor should have had 4 touchdowns. Trevor had 2 interceptions. The one where Trey Hendrickson got around Walker Little. He tried to throw it to Hunter. He underthrew it because of the pressure. Gets picked. That's a bad throw. The other one was because Brian Thomas Jr. appears to have made a business decision to not go for that football across the middle. And the problem, Coach, is that appeared to happen more than one time today. There was the time in the end zone where Brian Thomas Jr. got one hand on the ball and looked like he was ducking, coming across the middle when a safety was there. And there was a third time, at least to me, where Brian Thomas Jr. caught a slant in the middle of 3 Bengals and went down. And the Bengals players were kind of surprised, so then they jumped on him and you know, tagged him or whatever, so he was down by contact. I don't know. I mean, this was a guy that almost had 1,300 yards last year, a guy that had 10 touchdowns, a guy that had almost 90 receptions. And the first 2 games, particularly today, it was not good for Brian Thomas Jr., You were a coach in the NFL for 18 years. Did Brian Thomas Jr. make a couple of business decisions today?
Brian Thomas did not have a very good day professionally, especially for one that's being noted for his stature. He made a decision, and he did not bring his courage pill with him today. And those were Kerr's decisions. And most great wide receivers will tell you the only time it ever hurts you on getting hit is when you drop the ball after a hit. He didn't even give himself a chance, and he was peaking quite a bit today. It made a difference on being able to continue drive, not have an interception, but it wasn't a very good look in front of the team when you say team. You know, it's one thing they cart you off, and it's another when you're making that decision and people aren't around you or they're not there yet. But you're short-arming catches. You're thinking about the hit as opposed to making a catch. And a very good professional receiver would find a way to cradle the catch, make the catch, and snatch it, whatever you have to do to continue the drive. It's whatever it takes to win a game, and we didn't see that out of him today.
Now, let me ask you this. RJ, let's cue up Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen in the post-game press conference, and I want to be careful here because I don't exactly know the way the question was worded, but it was in regards to Brian Thomas Jr., and I'm paraphrasing here. I'll make that very clear. I'm paraphrasing, but the question essentially was, did it look like he short-armed a couple of balls? And this was the head coach's response about an hour ago there in Cincinnati.
I gotta go watch it, and just go figure out what that, was all about and what it looked like. I gotta go take a look at that.
That's all he had to say. There was nothing else added from Liam Cohen, and that to me was the most telling response of the press conference. Now, look, Liam Cohen is coaching his second game in his first year as a Jacksonville Jaguar head coach. Brian Thomas Jr. is arguably the best football player on this team. What is that conversation going to be when it ultimately does take place between Cohen and BTJ?
Well, they're going to have to address that issue. And I think the first way professionally for him, he'll do it one-on-one, and then he might end up bringing him in before he meets with the team and say, is this something that's been lingering with you? Has it lingered in camp because we thought you had a so-so camp for being who you are? And are you doubting yourself in situation? Are you protecting yourself? Are you not as confident as you are? And then let him speak, so it isn't a confrontation, because we all saw it. And that's not how any receiver wants to have his legacy out there. That, that's part of the criteria of who you are. Will you catch the ball over the middle, no matter what the situation is? Do you have the courage to do those kind of things? Is that how you want to leave yourself? But I think the one-on-one conversation between the head coach and the individual will start off with them without everybody in front, and then he'll have to handle it among his peers. I mean, he probably already has, to some bit, and the hardest thing to do is not be defensive, and not own up to that it wasn't your best game in that situation to help win the game. That's what we're in for. You only get so many chances to win a game. And we're counting either to make the play so we can let us decide, let the team decide. It's not up for you to decide in that situation. Make the play that we know you can make. All right? And it turns out after that. But I think it has to be addressed, because you can't have somebody who's doubting himself, because if you don't want to be in there to catch the ball, the quarterback's not going to throw the ball.
Yeah, again, BTJ had the fourth down drop as well. Let me ask you this, and again, phone lines are loaded. Q, Steve, Drew, Jonathan, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up here very, very soon. The Travis Hunter defensive pass interference call on the fourth down, coach, that ultimately won the game for Cincinnati as they drove down to score the game-winning touchdown. The game would have been over if not for that defensive pass interference call. I saw Dave Portnoy, the president of Barstool, was fuming on social media, I guess because he put money on the Jaguars, but he was laying into the official and laying into Roger Goodell. I did not think it was pass interference. I will tell you this. I host a Jaguar postgame show on the flagship home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If I was hosting a show in Cincinnati on the Bengal flagship, I probably thought it was absolutely pass interference. Let me ask you, as a guy that coached for 18 years in the league, do you agree with that call of DPI on Travis Hunter?
I think anytime you throw a 50-50 ball up there, you got a chance of doing that. As a coach, there are many times we threw the ball up there knowing we have man coverage, that we could at least get a flag. It's either going to be a back shoulder catch or we can get a flag on that. And there are many times we used to get on the receivers because, what's pass interference now? It's like it's a wrestling match to run down the field between the receiver and the defensive back half the time anyway. I mean, it used to be a face guarding penalty, call where if you do not turn your head around and you're having a hand check battle with the defensive back, they were going to call that. So, and then we would also get on the receiver and say, hey, you got to be a better actor. Okay, you got to make that official make that call on a 50-50 ball going down the sideline. Plus, you got a great receiver, and everybody knows he's a great receiver. If it doesn't look like you made a legitimate play for the ball and they see your hands wavering around the body, there's a chance that you might get that call. So
I'll say this. I've seen worse not called.
Oh, yes, we have. But you call it football.
Yeah.
All right? You can make those calls in the first half. You can make them in the second half. You can make it when the game's on the line because now everybody is a little tensed up in that situation.
That is the coach, Jerald Ingram. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. This is the Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We're presented by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Your phone calls next. We'll also give an offensive player of the game. Cincinnati 31, Jacksonville 27. Drew, Steve, Q, Jonathan, you're the first four out of the gate. Coming up next here on the fifth quarter.
Frank Franzi here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle Fencing. Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coyle has been installing fences since before Emery Ballard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullerita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Put a little hot sauce on your lunchtime listening. Spicy. Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy. They are XL Prime Time.
4-alarm fire.
From the big number one Duval Ford Studios. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Clayton, I've seen ads for diamonds where you see the words all diamonds certified by IGI, EGL, or GIA. Just what does all that mean?
Frank, it's confusing because those letters represent various diamond grading laboratories. However, it's important to point out that labs don't certify anything. They issue diamond grading reports. The only entity that can certify the diamond is the seller. There's one exception to that, and that's members of the American Gem Society have the ability to certify diamonds through their partnership with the American Gem Society Laboratory. That's because it's the only partnership in the world where an organization devoted to consumer protection through gemological education and ethics has a laboratory built on the exact same principles. We have these certificates at Underwood's, but more importantly, we have American Gem Society certified gemologists that look at all of these diamonds and put our grade and our certification of the diamond's quality on it. And believe me, that's important.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors. Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Motion by Travis Hunter. Play fake. Looking is Trevor. Looking. Fires to the back of the end zone. That ball's going to be caught. Touchdown. De'Ami Brown in the back of the end zone. A 9-yard touchdown pass. And Jacksonville strikes first in Cincinnati.
Frank Franchi on the call. Jaguars radio, 1 of 3. Trevor Lawrence touchdown throws up in Cincinnati. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you an offensive player of the game. That offensive player of the game is brought to you by our friends at Universal Roof and Contracting. RJ, let's do it now. The Universal Roof and Contracting offensive player of the game.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the offensive player of the game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
I understand he had a couple of interceptions. I'll blame him for the one in the end zone. I'm not blaming him for the one Brian Thomas Jr. short-armed. Trevor Lawrence, 271 yards passing through the air, 3 touchdowns, should have had 4 because De'Ami Brown dropped a perfectly thrown ball in the back of the end zone. Trevor did not get a lot of help from his wide receivers today, but still 3 passing touchdowns, 271 through the air. Trevor Lawrence is your offensive player of the game. Quickly, Coach, we got phone calls in 60 seconds. The exchange between Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, where Liam's seen on camera kind of doing this to say, hit him in the chest. Trevor's kind of looking at him, okay, and then going back to the huddle. That's just the competitive juices flowing at that time. There's nothing more to read into that.
No, I think that's a plus for Cohen because I think Cohen sees himself out on the field whenever Trevor throws the ball. He knows where the ball should be thrown. He put it on himself to say, hey, that's on you. That's accuracy. Mm-hmm. And you got to understand the type of throw, the type of route that was thrown, and need to be thrown in his numbers. Anytime you have something that's sitting over the ball, and it's just like the one that BT dropped. It's down there. You should make that play. You didn't have to reach high for it. He threw it exactly where it needed. Make the catch. And if you throw a high ball, you got to, he's seeing it as though, hey, that's not good enough. and we would have been able to have a first down and kept the clock moving.
I love the passion. You didn't see that at all from Urban, and you saw very little of that from Doug Peterson.
I don't think he's afraid of getting on our quarterback one bit.
No.
Which is good.
I agree. Let's go to the phone line, 641-1010 here on the fifth quarter with the coach Jerald Ingram, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Let's head out to Ortega, get Drew up here on 1010XL. Drew, what's going on?
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
Oh, man, it's a tough afternoon, a fun game, but a tough ending.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was brutal. But I actually have notes here, and number one thing I want to say is there's too many things to focus on within, like, the minute I have to talk to y'all. But,
hit the 2 or 3 best ones you got, Drew.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is this is the most frustrating game I've seen us lose. Like, that was brutal. I mean, we should have won. We were better. We were the better team. And I'm saying, like, on 3rd and 2, we were 3rd and 2 within the red zone, and we decided to throw the ball when you're averaging about 5 yards a carry. We are shredding them in the running game, and we decided to throw the ball on 3rd and 2. Worst comes to worst, you run the ball, and you get 1 yard. It's 4th and 1. Go for it on 4th and 1. You're going to get it. And then Trevor Lawrence, man, year 5, and he's still throwing turnovers in the red zone. I mean, that's got to stop, man. Like, that is disgusting.
Well, I think Trey Hendrickson had a little bit to do with that, but I agree. He should have thrown it away. I mean, Walker Little got beat pretty bad on that play. Trevor had no time, but I agree. Drew, appreciate the phone call. You had brought up the 3rd and 2 as well, right when you walked in, that you had an issue with that.
Yeah, that's definitely a coaching call. That was one of the calls I had that I had questions on. I never once felt that they couldn't get that first down against this type of team at that point in time. I just didn't like the call. You know, I didn't think it was a sense of urgency. You know, to me, that's a desperation call that didn't need to happen.
Yeah,
get the first down. I don't care if you decide to run it.
Right.
That's what you've done. Okay, that's what we've seen. But I'm sitting there thinking a 3rd and 2 call, 3rd and medium call, whatever you want to do, but not that at that situation. You're not playing from behind.
I agree. I thought it was you were running the ball well. I agree. You should have ran the ball. Most frustrating loss ever. I don't know. Maybe I'll just become immune to them at this point. I've been through quite a few of these, it seems like, over the years. So I guess they don't bother me near as much as maybe they used to.
But it's kind of like the guy said. I mean, it's true. You had a 9-play drive. You dominated the clock. You moved the ball down the field. You're showing the intention of your team that we're methodically going to control the ball and get points, and then you throw a pass like that.
Agreed. And at the end, no, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Let's go down to Melbourne. Let's get Steve in here on 1010XL. Steve, what's going on?
I've had better days. I just got to say, I mean, once again, Trevor, the red zone stuff, you know, you got to check yourself with that. But also, he's getting hurt constantly with drops. I mean, 21 in his first year led the league in drops. 22 was second to last in drops. The receivers aren't doing him any favors. We did well in the running game with ETN. Tootin got a touchdown. Allen did some good things. Might need to take a second look at Walker Little because he's gotten beat a couple times today that really cost us. And I don't know if you guys ever talked about it, but that Devin Lloyd interception, he rolled on the guy. He never hit the ground. That should have been a touchdown, in my opinion.
Steve, appreciate that. The problem was they blew the whistle. All right, so even if the Jaguars wanted to review it, the whistle blew. And right when it happened, I thought, this is Miles Jack wasn't down, just not in the same instance. That was the AFC Championship game. This is week 2 of the regular season. But as soon as the whistle blew, and you could hear the whistle blew on television, there was no chance that was going to be ruled a touchdown. Because even if they wanted to review it, they would have said it was down because the whistle had blown, and there was nothing that was going to change that. It was a great play by Devin Lloyd. And look, the defense, it's interesting. The defense did enough to win the game. Jacksonville's offense did not take advantage of the Devin Lloyd pick. But at the end of the day, the defense allowed a 92-yard game-winning touchdown drive orchestrated by Jake Browning. So it's hard not to blame the defense as well. The offense should have scored there, absolutely. But if you're the defense, you got to get Jake Browning off the field. He can't go 92 on you and punch it in with 18 seconds to go for the game-winning score.
I mean, you had two big plays in the second half. I mean, you've got, pressure by Allen as well, but Wingard makes a great play as well.
Great play.
Great play. So, and then Devlin makes another great play.
At least they scored off the wing.
Really good plays being out there, as well as another week. I think our linebacker played pretty well this game as well.
Well, at least they scored off the Wingard pick.
There were some really good things happening, but to have that long of a drive with a backup quarterback, you don't expect that to happen.
Let's go to the north side. Let's get Q in here on 1010XL. Q, what do you got?
Hey, what's going on? You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, man. What's happening?
Sweet. All right, I just got a couple points real quick, and I'll take my comments out the air. All right, first off, I think this game showed us a lot. It showed us that we got one heck of a defense. I feel like every one of our stars on defense showed why they're on the team, except for Tyson Campbell. I feel like he's getting picked on for his entire career here in Jacksonville. I just don't think he has the speed, to be an every down cornerback. I feel that needs to be addressed. Secondly, run game, amazing. I love the coaching calls, but once again, that two yard that we had to get, throwing it was not the answer. I don't know what was up with that. And the third thing, and I'll take my comments off the air. I think that exchange with the coach and Trevor, I think I would look into it because of the fact that, hey, Trevor is not the guy that was chosen by this new regime, right? So everybody's, is on notice about, their performance. And I feel like, I don't think that Trevor's the guy that Liam would want. I think he's trying him out, but a couple of mistakes there. I just don't think that there's a hot seat under him enough as of right now, and I think that's something we should be looking at. And I'll take my comments out there.
Q, appreciate it. Liam Cohen might have inherited Trevor Lawrence, but it was Shad Khan that gave Trevor $275 million. So Liam Cohen's going to have to figure that out, because I got news for you. Trevor's going to be here for the long haul. And again, we're talking about the one pick in the end zone. The second pick, Brian Thomas Jr. left his quarterback out to dry. Outside of that, I thought Trevor was great. He should have had 4 touchdowns. We should be 2-0 right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars did not lose this game today because of Trevor Lawrence. I feel very confident, Coach, in saying that. Quickly to Tyson Campbell, what were your thoughts on Campbell's performance?
Well, Campbell's performance, I mean, it's
Jamar Chase. He's going to do that to a lot of DBs.
The question I had before the game started is in respect of who their players are, why there aren't enough combination coverage. With a safety over top, you've got the young kid out there as well. You can play some combination coverage and try to disrupt the timing of the throws. And not everything has to be the blitz pressure timing of the throws, with a great receiver out there. But sometimes you need to jam him at the line of scrimmage and the defensive back knowing he's got safety help over the top, So, you're not, combination of zone coverage as well as playing some double coverage out there just make it a little more difficult than, hell, the kid had, 5? He had 5 in a row catches. To me, that's,
Well, they looked like they were playing way. I mean, look, I get and I wanted to get beat over the top by Chase.
Right. But you're not mixing up enough zone and man coverages, but not single high. Well, you get single high coverage with your one-on-one, and you got the goal ball that was thrown.
Yeah, so instead of getting punched in the face, you're getting paper cut to death.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you throw a 2-on-1 ball and the safety comes over the top and knocks the hell out of that guy.
Yeah.
He's not quite really thinking that I won on that corner receiver. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, geez, I got to be worried about the safety. Somewhere along the lines, you got to make him fearful with somebody. If you're going to make that catch down the field, he's going to pay for it.
Let's get one more call in on this side. Junior, Chris, Leo, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up on the other side. Jonathan's been on hold forever. We'll get Jonathan up here now on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Jonathan, what's happening?
Let me tell you, I thought the penalties were going to get cleaned up. All those illegal shifts we had today were inexcusable. I don't know what Trevor was looking at in the end zone when he threw that pick, but next time throw the ball away. And Brian Thomas Jr. was like almost non-existent today. And the pass interference call on Travis Hunter, I didn't think that was pass interference. I want to get y'all's thoughts on that.
Jonathan, appreciate it. All right, what was Trevor looking at on the pick? Well, he was looking at Trey Hendrickson because Trey Hendrickson was running at him really, really fast and with bad intentions. And in that situation, you got to throw the ball away. That's easy for me to say in a radio studio and not having a 280-pound Trey Hendrickson bearing down on me. That interception to me is as much on Walker Little as it is on Trevor Lawrence. The BTJ situation, we'll talk more about it. Look, he looked like he made a couple of business decisions today. I don't know how else to say it. He looked like there were times where he just thought more that he didn't want to get hit than catching the football. And again, I don't know. This is radio guy talking. Let me ask 18-year coach with 2 Super Bowl rings on his finger, Jerald Ingram. We got a new audience here. Did Brian Thomas Jr., in your opinion, coach, make some business decisions today?
Brian Thomas Jr. didn't bring his courage pill today to make the plays that was necessary to have out there. That's his job, to try and make a better attempt to make those plays. It wasn't acceptable, and those will be addressed this week. As far as Trevor, the things that I think bother people on Trevor's situation is that he's such a competitor that he thinks, just like the preseason decision, in the red area against the Saints.
Yeah.
It was a bad situation. Don't try to make it worse. Just take the sack or whatever you got to take. His decisions, he thinks he can make a play out of something. Because he is a competitor. Instead of him, in his mind, he's thinking it's less than to him not to try to make a play. And those are the things that have gotten him in trouble over the years and preseason, and we're still seeing that. Instead of just make the judgment that we'll play another play. We'll take the points. Not everything's ever going to be perfect, and you're not going to make it perfect.
You live to fight another day, as they say, and that's what Trevor needs to learn because he hasn't yet. And he does make decisions that he shouldn't have, and it costs the Jaguars points in that situation. It is the window world of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter, we're presented by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings. We'll come back with a defensive player of the game. Also, Junior, Mike, Chris, Leo, you are the first 4 up on the other side. Jacksonville, we're with you till 8 o'clock. If there is silver lining, there's not much silver lining, but if there is, Tennessee lost today, so the Titans are now 0-2. Indianapolis is losing, but they're in a battle right now. Denver's up 5, 28-23 with 11 minutes to go. We'll keep you updated. Again, I'm just trying to be glass half full for a second because this loss was very, very the circumstances of this loss, it shouldn't have happened. So I know a lot of people are frustrated, but again, if Denver were to beat Indianapolis, then you don't lose any ground on anybody, and we'll see what happens with the Texans tomorrow, who are already 0-1. And by the way, the Texans come in here next week. That's the Azeez Al-Shire game, which I'm sure might get some talk here in the city of Jacksonville this upcoming week. Your phone calls next. Fifth quarter rolls on right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Yo, it's your main man, E to the T here with a quick message from Twin Peaks. Did you know that Thursday, September 18th is National Cheeseburger Day? Let's celebrate with a seasoned smash and seared to-order cheeseburger, topped with your choice of cheese, and pair it with a 22-ounce Coors Light or Miller Lite all day long. Not in a drinking mood? Grab a cheeseburger and pair it with a tea or a soda. Say hello to one of our favorite holidays at Twin Peaks on Atlantic and Kernan. Twin Peaks. Eat, drink, scenic views. Come on, somebody.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence. SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Fall is here. The air is crisp. Football is on, and the perfect backyard atmosphere starts with a high-quality fireplace from CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Hey, it's Joe C. Imagine nights by the fire, cheering on your team, surrounded by friends and family. CSS can transform your outdoor space into the ultimate game day destination. Stylish, warm, and built for memories. With several wood, gas, and electric options, let CSS make your backyard the best seat in the house. Visit CSSFireplaces.com.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Join me, Max Fink, as I keep a close eye on everything that happens in Gator Nation.
The Gator Report, polished up by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, in talking about the quality of cut of a diamond, is there a particular diamond cutter that's known as the best?
Frank, the answer is yes, and that would be Hearts on Fire, who have the world's most perfectly cut diamond, and we have them now at Underwoods. When anybody comes in and looks at one of these diamonds, the first thing they say is, wow! That's because these diamonds are cut from absolute maximum beauty and are really worth seeing, so you have an idea of how good a diamond can really look. They have perfect polish, perfect symmetry, and perfect proportions, and are backed up with an American Gem Society diamond quality document. Now, not every diamond could be a Hearts on Fire diamond because only certain rough diamonds in the hands of the most skilled cutters working in state-of-the-art cutting facilities can cut these. In fact, only 200 diamond cutters out of the 1 million people employed in the diamond cutting trade are skilled enough to cut Hearts on Fire diamonds.
See Hearts on Fire now at Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Fumbled your fender? EV took a hit? Guardian Collision is your MVP with certified expert auto body repair for any electric vehicle. Guardian Collision, they guard what moves you. Visit GuardianCollision.com.
Clogged toilet, too much paper, deeper blockages, or one of your child's Hot Wheels could be the culprit. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline and handles toilet clogs fast. If your toilet's clogged, make the superior choice. Learn more at SuperiorPlumbingJacks.com.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter, nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Four-man rush. Browning drops the throw. Fires middle of the field. Now picked off. Devin Lloyd picked it off. He's running it back to the 25. Still on his feet. Pulled to the ground inside the 15-yard line. What a play by Devin Lloyd. He takes it away. How good is that?
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars radio. And you got to admit, at that point, you thought, well, Jacksonville might win the football game, and we were all wrong at that point. But a great play by Devin Lloyd nonetheless. There were a lot of great defensive efforts today and a losing effort. The Jaguars did get 3 turnovers, get a handful of quarterback sacks every week here on the fifth quarter. we do give you a defensive player of the game. It is brought to you by our friends at Superior Fence and Rail. And RJ, let's do it right now. The Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
All right, Coach Jerald Ingram, Trayvon Walker, 5 tackles, 3 solo, a sack, a tackle for loss, a pass defense as well, 3 quarterback hits. I thought Trayvon Walker had a very, very good outing today, and he is this week's defensive player of the game. Your thoughts?
I think he definitely was instrumental in this game. I thought both defensive ends played well. They played physical. I think in the last 2 games, they have truly won well enough to win games up front. Now, I think we have to play more consistency inside the tackles, to make plays. I mean, you look at the end of the game for the most part. They got a penalty, and that penalty goes back 5 yards. They're at first and goal.
Yeah.
And then went back to 5. And they ran the ball right back to where they were again.
Well, the problem with the penalty was, did you hear Cohen's thoughts after the game? They were going to let Cincinnati score.
Well, that happened to us in the Super Bowl as well with Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick let us score.
Yeah.
Now they
Bradshaw tried
seconds.
not to score, and he fell in the end zone.
He fell in the end zone. So, I mean, it goes either way. But, it didn't look like they made that decision to do that.
Yeah, well, Cohen said in his presser that they were going to let him score.
Right.
The penalty is what then decided they're going to play defense.
Yeah,
when you
but
get back
expect to stop.
Right, exactly.
You expect them to run the ball and get it right back to where they were.
Right.
To me, that's a testimony that, somebody inside is not holding up.
Yeah.
They ran an inside play and got it right back there again.
Yeah, and
in that situation, you're expecting a throw, but you can't expect a run to take it right back. That was an advantage for you on defense.
Sure.
To have that happen, in my thought, watching it.
Well, let's get back to the phone lines at 641-1010. The Jaguars fall to Cincinnati today, 31-27. Let's head up to Buffalo, get Junior up here on the 5th quarter. Junior, what's going on?
Hey, gentlemen, man, this was a winnable game. I'm looking, replaying the game in my head. This was a winnable game for the Jaguars. But again, mistakes at certain points of the game cost them. At certain points, you had Trevor's doing stuff he did when he was a rookie. Not getting rid of the ball right away or taking the sack. I agree with you, Hack. I'm sitting on my recliner. I don't have a big 6'6" guy coming after me who weigh 297 or something like that. But as soon as that play happened, you see Little get beat, and I'm like, oh, don't throw it away or take the sack, and he just threw it up for grabs. And I'm like, come on, Trevor, you're not a rookie anymore. Just either take the sack or throw it out of bounds or throw it out of the end zone. Yeah, there's opportunities there. Not hitting guys in the numbers or hitting up high. We were doing great on the running game, and it kills me when they're second and short. They're throwing it downfield when Cincinnati had to me, couldn't stop our running game. I don't understand that. That confuses me all the time. And Brian Thomas Jr., come on, man. You can't be scared. Being a Jaguar fan all these years, I've never, ever, back in the day with Thunder and Lightning, seeing those 2 guys being afraid to catch a ball. If you're playing professional football, you just can't be alligator arms or be afraid. He reminds me of the movie Major League where that Roger Dorn character goes, "Olay!" and don't get the ball when he needs to. Come on, you got this. This is man up. You got to man up, guys. Let's go.
Junior, appreciate the phone call. It's the price of being an NFL quarterback. He's going to get all the blame. Again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. They did not lose this game today because of Trevor Lawrence. They just didn't. Now, if you want to blame Trevor for a bad throw in the first quarter, that's your prerogative, and you're more entitled to do that. Where's the blame for De'Ami Brown dropping what would have been Trevor's 4th touchdown? Where's the unbelievable blame that should be going on to Brian Thomas Jr. for alligator arming or making business decisions and not catching some passes, one of which resulted in an interception? Where's the blame in the defense allowing Jake Browning to look like Joe Montana for the 2nd time in the last 3 years against this defense? I mean, Coach, Trevor Lawrence deserves some of the criticism, but he did not lose this game for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, he's not the reason for losing. I think there's a lot of good points in Trevor this year. We've seen him improve his footwork, his accuracy. on some situations. There's, he has blimps. Not everybody plays a perfect game, but he looks better. He looks more confident out there. I mean, you look at the first half drives and you're saying, other than the hiccups here and there, he looks so much better, right now. And I don't think Cincinnati expected him to look that good or control the team and moving the plays down. I mean, we got 9-play drives. Yeah, we're not getting anything out of it, but he looks, as far as a first-year coach, and you want Trevor to show some kind of, improvement. I think he is in front of the team. We're running the ball. The head coach is trying to establish certain things, that we're going to see. And I was like, damn, they look like a damn good team until they hiccup, So there's some pluses we got to look at, and we got to find, and we said preseason, the head coach said, we got to find a way to win these kind of games.
Well, and William Cohen also said he wants to find out how they deal with adversity. I would say they probably did not deal with it well today. And the honeymoon period's over. Yeah. Look, people were mad. And now you get Houston coming in here in a huge division game next week. Houston, by the way, playing tomorrow night. It'll be a short week for the Texans. And on top of everything else, Azeez Al-Shire is coming back to this stadium for the first time after that blatant cheap shot on Trevor Lawrence a year ago. This is going to be an interesting week to see how the Jaguars respond and how they come out against the Texans. Let's head to the south side. Let's get Chris in here on 1010XL with Coach Jerald, Ingram, and Hacker. Chris, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas, man? Tough day, man. I got a couple things I want to say. Man, first off, let me give a shout-out to Parker Washington, man. I feel like he balled. He had a great game, man. And do you guys think that, maybe it's time to get Travis Hunter, involved in the defense, maybe from the start of the game a little bit more? Because Jarian Jones, man, he probably had his worst day as a Jaguar today. And I'll take your comments off the air.
Chris, appreciate it. I had much more of a problem with Tyson Campbell than I did with Jarian Jones. I don't know, you tell me, but I just thought it was noticeable that Campbell was getting beat more than Jones was.
And you also have to remember who these guys are playing against. And we knew what they're going to be up against in certain coverages. And they were going to be tested. And we knew that we were going to have to pressure them. And a four-man rush was going to have to help us in coverage. And somewhere along the line, somebody's got to get to this quarterback, make something happen. I don't care who you are in their division. They play a very tough physical division. And having to deal with, you played against two of the best in the NFL, okay? One game doesn't change who we think they are. So I think there were some good and bads. Now, would we like to see Trevor out there playing a little bit more? Yeah, I'd like to see him have more experience out there. How you get that done, that's going to be an ongoing process. What's going to happen this week? This first-time head coach now has to address a loss in the locker room, in the meeting room, and see how they respond next week as a head coach. Does he get it cleaned up? Does he make it better? Okay? And does he find a way to win the game and win these kind of games? This was a true test for him, and he doesn't like it. We don't like it. He's a new head coach. He wasn't here in the past. He's getting to know who he can trust out there. Like I said, you practice to get to know players. You play games to confirm trust. And every week this year, he's got to confirm trust. But, like you said, the kid gloves are off. You got to win these.
Let's get to a couple of folks that have been on hold forever. Again, Chris, Mimi, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up very, very soon. But Leo in Mandarin has been on hold for a while. My neck of the woods over there in the Mandarin area. Leo, what's going on?
Hey, Hacker, thank you, man. I appreciate you. And, Coach, listen, Hacker, I love you, man, and I love the show. But, hey, man, let me disagree with y'all a little bit for tonight, man. I'm going to be very respectful, okay? And listen, I like Trevor. I've liked him since day one. I've always had his back. I ain't never called him. He ripped him. Here's the problem I see, okay? Okay, y'all keep talking about the De'Ami Brown drop. The play directly before, okay? He threw that ball too high to Brian Thomas Jr., and that's always the case. Anybody notice that Brian Thomas Jr. has to jump 10 feet in the air like he's dunking the basketball? I never saw Jamar Chase or T. Higgins doing that. Jake Browning and Burrow keep their wide receiver on his feet so he can make a football play after he catches it. Trevor does not do that. I do not blame Brian Thomas Jr. for recoiling. Trevor almost got him killed in the preseason. I don't want to see Brian Thomas Jr. getting carted off like that dude in Buffalo. If this was the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, yes, I would like to see him make that play. But Trevor has this little issue with his accuracy, okay, with his consistency is what I should say. And so it's trickling down to the rest of his players. Your players ain't being consistent when you want them to. But De'Ami Brown did make that first touchdown catch. So I'm going to excuse that little drop. I know he should have made it in because it hit him right in the hands. But Brian Thomas Jr., the play before, he couldn't get his second foot down. Trevor throws the ball too damn high to him. Can one of you guys please ask the coaching staff this, if any of you all around them, why is Brian Thomas Jr. going across the middle? Why is he never going up the seam or the vertical routes? What's going on with that? I don't understand. Again, Trevor, listen, maybe he didn't lose, Hacker. He didn't win it for us either.
Leo, appreciate the phone call. We got to move on. Leo's a great caller. Been calling for a while. Respect the opinion. Disagree with it tonight. The De'Ami Brown drop was horrific. I'm not excusing anything. I don't care how many touchdowns he caught. I mean, if he catches, I mean, you as a NFL wide receiver, you have to catch that ball. He's getting paid $10 million for 1 year. That ball was right there, perfect throw, and he dropped it. Brian Thomas Jr., look.
We wouldn't have accepted Jimmy Smith doing that, and we wouldn't have accepted Keenan McCardle to do that as well.
And you know what? You're
and he kind of short-armed. You know, it looked like the ball was thrown high. He brought his hand down.
Yeah, and then he ducked.
He didn't really. He kind of ducked.
And I'll tell you this,
so
too.
It looks like it's thrown high, but it really wasn't quite thrown high. He was trying to comfort himself on a hit.
I have you on right now. I'm going to talk to Duffner, Coach Mark Duffner this week. I'm going to talk to some former players. Maybe this is a McManus week on Hacker After Dark. And I'll ask the former players. And I will almost guarantee you that across the board, everybody that's a former Jaguar is going to take issue with the performance of Brian Thomas Jr. today.
Do you imagine the corners in the NFL, what they're going to say next week when he lines up there? They're going to talk more junk to this receiver and question his courage before he even gets out of his stance. Why wouldn't you as a defensive player? Okay? Remember, we're just talking about the game. These guys got to handle being amongst their peers when you play like that. And sometimes you have to be careful of what you defend in the locker room, on the field, not just on your own team questioning you, but your opponent questioning you, that they think they can get a hit on you, and you're going to turn it down all the time. So he's got to bounce back from this. This is his legacy. This is who he is. You got to defend yourself for that kind of performance.
Mike, you got about 60 seconds. We're getting you in just under the wire here in hour number 1 out in Jacksonville Beach. Mike, what do you have, pal?
Okay, real quick. That stuff's crazy. One play doesn't make a game. On the road, you got to win that game with Burrow out with 8:30 left in the second quarter. Yeah, the players have to make those catches. They can all make those changes. But the coaching doesn't have to put us down in there. What got you there was the dance. Got to run that ball, run in the second half. We gave up on it, and I think that exposed us. We got soft on every time we pushed and jammed on number 1 and number 5, we had some trouble. Everything after that was a catch, first down. I think this is 51% on the coaches, 49% on the players. This is week 2. Let's go. Duval. Let's get right for next week. Go home and get a divisional win next week.
Mike, appreciate the phone call. Appreciate the positivity. Unfortunately, this loss is about to be compounded, it looks like. Indianapolis down 2. They have the ball at their own 46 and driving. A field goal would win the game at the 2-minute warning. We'll keep you updated. Denver 28, Indianapolis 26. With the coach, Jerald Ingram, the hacker Ryan Green with you. We are at halftime on the Window World of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. We're presented by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings. We'll come back with a special teams player of the game, also a drive of the game as well. Phone lines are open, 641-1010, if you want to get involved after Cincinnati, a 31-27 victor today over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You have You've got a front row seat for Jaguars football all year long. This is 1010XL, WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Share your life with 1010XL. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, wait. I'm going to take a picture and post it on Facebook. What? Hashtag
1010XL.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? Do you know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, listen up, team. They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. When customers call with leaky faucets, broken water heaters, toilet repairs, broken pipes, or any other challenge, we'll give them a solution fast. Now, who are we?
Roland Reese Plumbing!
I can't hear you.
Roland Reese Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like. Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here. Only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do. Stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
Former Jags middle linebacker Tom McManus brings some grit to the ladies of helmets and heels.
You do it as tough as it is possible to do.
Tommy, Lauren, and Taylor.
Backed by Green Law Group. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting!
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account, with the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show with tips and stories. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10. On 1010XL.
Need electric vehicle repair? Guardian Collision is expert certified for any electric vehicle. Trust the home team for auto body repair on your EV. Guardian Collision. They guard what moves you at GuardianCollision.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter, flavored by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Apex Roofing and Contracting on 1010XL.
Now they'll motion Etienne a little bit and throw a screen out to him to the left side, into the 10, to the 5-yard line. Travis Etienne into the end zone. They threw a wide receiver screen to a running back who was lined up out there, and he's into the end zone for the score.
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars radio, Travis Etienne, coming off a $143 last week, had another good game this week, including finding the end zone up in Cincinnati. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a play of the game. That play of the game is brought to you by our friends at Performance Painting. RJ, let's do it now. The Performance Painting play of the game.
Now, the Performance Painting high performance play of the game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
All right, Jerald Ingram, 18 years as a running back coach in the National Football League. Back-to-back weeks that Travis Etienne has looked very, very good, including finding the end zone today, and that is the Performance Painting play of the game. Your thoughts on Etienne and the running game?
Well, I thought Etienne played well enough to win a game. I thought he was utilized very well. I thought he hit the hole pretty well. From what we saw, there were some good things. There was tooting. You know, the usage of how they used the running backs in this game, I thought it was key. I thought the offensive line in most situations in the run game, they were good. Mm-hmm. It was good to see on the crack play and the one long run, you know, and seeing the center run down the field was phenomenal. He was hoofing it down the field now, you know. So I see them being excited 2 weeks in a row in the run game. You know, obviously they didn't get as much runs as they'd like, but they were pretty effective coming off the ball. You know, there were a couple pressure situations in the pass game, but most part, I thought the offensive line 2 weeks in a row were fairly steady.
You got to be kidding me. Indianapolis lined up for a 60-yarder to win it. They missed it, and they called leverage on Denver, a 15-yard penalty. So now it's going to be a 45-yard chip shot, and Indianapolis is about to go to 2-0. That is absolutely ridiculous. So that kind of compounds the Jaguar loss today. The Jaguars lose. Indianapolis has won the game 29-28. And Indianapolis now 2-0 and in sole possession of first place in the AFC South. All right, back to the phone lines we go, 641-1010. Let's head to the south side. Get Mimi in here on the fifth quarter. Mimi, how you doing?
Fine. I want to thank you first, like I do every year, Hacker, for doing work with the Friday Night Lights and recognizing the high school football players. And number two, thanks to Liam for taking the ball instead of deferring today, because last week and this week both resulted in points. I want to ask a question about the penalty that Travis Hunter got for batting down the ball. Can you or Coach explain what did he do wrong that incurred that penalty? And I'll take it off the air. Thank you.
Mimi, appreciate it. Well, it depends who you talk to, because there are some people that don't believe he did anything wrong. Coach Jerald Ingram, what did you think about Travis Hunter's defensive pass interference there late in the fourth quarter?
I think that's just going to be a tough call situation. And you'd like to think if he gets his head around, one step or two steps sooner, they're not going to make that call. And then just use his body in between him and the defender, they won't make that call. But when his hands are in front of the defender and his hat doesn't ever turn around until I don't even know if he ever saw his hat turn around. That could have created, that instinctive call by the official.
Well, it's what was called, and Cincinnati converted 2 fourth downs, the one to Chase Brown and then the penalty on Travis Hunter that allowed that drive to continue, and they win the game today 31-27. Let's head out to Jacksonville Beach. Let's get Chris in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Chris, what's going on?
Hey, Smacker. Hey, Coach. How are you doing?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Not too bad. I just have to agree with Drew from Ortega. 3rd and 2, and they throw the ball. I mean, it's egregious. When did Billy Napier become the OC of the Jaguars?
Yeah, it was particularly when they were running the ball the way they were.
Yes. Baseball students clearly getting 5 yards a pop. Like, run the ball. If worse comes worse, I have to agree with them. Worst comes worse to get a 1 yard. Like, just run the ball. They run all over him. And we let Jake Browning come in, and he comes in like 2023 Jake Browning and beats us. It's just egregious. So I'm sorry, Smacker.
Chris, appreciate the phone call. Let me ask you this, Coach. We always hear about learning how to win. Bad teams need to learn how to win. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have been, a horrific team for a large majority of the last 15 years. And they've been very, very bad since week 12 of 2023. Is this a situation today where this team, albeit with a lot of new guys, just did not know how to win the football game?
If you're trying to play for a Super Bowl and you have a Super Bowl caliber team, you got to play with detail. And that's what Liam's trying to get them to understand. Everybody's accountable, and it's about accountability. You try to go out and win games because it's based on execution, and there's no excuse for not doing your job. You can't accept an excuse. The reason why I have 2 Super Bowls because of execution. It is because you believe and you buy into the system. It is because everybody is accountable to each other and expect each other to make those kind of plays. There is no excuse. When everybody gets on the same page and what he's trying to do, and there's going to be growing pains for this head coach, for him as a head coach and how he addresses it tomorrow and the next week and the next week. This is his first time actually having to do it. Somebody else had to do it for him. Now he's got to handle those individual situations. Sometimes you got to put your Dr. Phil hat on, okay?
Yeah.
You got to know when to bite your team in the ass and when to go ahead and say, hey, son, what's wrong, okay? Now, you can still come after him, but you got to find a way to get it out of him because he ain't going nowhere next week. He's playing for you, okay? So this is a true test for him to get to know this team, for them to get to know him and handle these issues that we've had to deal with the Jaguars over the years, and then we'll see how they handle it next week, and then the week after that.
641-1010 is the phone number. If you want to get involved, you are more than welcome to do so. We're with you for about another 40 minutes or so here on the fifth quarter. By the way, AFC South updated standings. Indianapolis 2-0, Jacksonville 1-1, Tennessee 0-2. We'll have to wait on Houston. Again, they play tomorrow night against Tampa, and then they come here on a short week next Sunday. Let's go to Ocean Way. Let's get Tyler in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Tyler, what do you got?
Hey, man, how's it going? I'm going to make it quick and easy for you guys. I think we look really sharp. We got a lot of things to clean up with the penalties. I heard one of your previous callers talk about the back and forth with Liam and Trevor right there. I don't think that's an issue at all. I think that's exactly what Trevor needs. I feel like Doug was too soft on Trevor. I think Trevor needs a little bit of critical criticism, and I think things are looking good for us. God bless America, and rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Go Jag.
Tyler, appreciate the phone call. Cincinnati, a 31-27 victory today over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's do this before we step aside. Adam, Brian, the rest of you guys, if you're on the line, we will certainly get to you coming up in the next segment. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a special teams player of the game. That special teams player of the game is brought to you by Superior Plumbing. RJ, let's do it right now, man. The Superior Plumbing special teams player of the game.
Jacksonville was built on specialists. Now the special teams player of the week, sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipelining.
So Logan Cook, coach, is this week's special teams player of the game. He only punted the ball twice, but when you have one of those punts that goes 60 yards and then the other one go inside the 20, that's getting it done. We could probably give it to Cam Little every week. We're going to spread the wealth a little bit over the season. Not used very much, but when he was, Logan Cook proved why he is arguably the best punter in the NFL.
Definitely. When you needed it, he came through. You needed that 60-yard punt, as far as field position goes. And he did a great job. He's consistent. So far, our field goal kicker is very consistent. So those guys are doing a great job.
Problem with special teams today, you and I were talking about it off air, the coverage team on kickoffs wasn't great today. That's something Heath Farwell needs to clean up. But you can't have people starting at your 35, 36, 37-yard line.
Yeah, they gave up too much ground. There were some people that didn't control their lanes. There was one situation, someone got out of his lane and created a seam for the returner. So I think that's something they'll clean up this week.
Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We're presented by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings. He is the coach, Jerald Ingram. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. We will come back. We will give you a drive of the game. We still have to give you an injury report as well. And we will start focusing more your phone calls. We will also start focusing on the Houston Texans, who come to town next week, which means the return of Azeez Al-Shire after what transpired here last season. Boy, that could be very interesting. More to do next. Fifth quarter rolls on till 8 o'clock. It's 1010XL, and it's 92.5 FM.
The action. The motion.
You see that acceleration.
Feel the active emotion of live play-by-play.
It's amazing how much energy.
On 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
How'd you get your money so quick?
Hard Rock Bet's got lightning fast withdrawals.
Almost as fast as Dale Jr. valeting cars at this party.
Man, he's fast.
Hard Rock Bet's fast withdrawals have given me new motivation. Tips are appreciated.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
Maxed out on credit card, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Friday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL's Gator Bites podcast wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Motion by Travis Hunter. Play fake. Looking is Trevor. Looking. Fires to the back of the end zone. That ball's going to be caught. Touchdown. De'Ami Brown in the back of the end zone. A 9-yard touchdown pass. And Jacksonville strikes first in Cincinnati.
Frangie Jaguars Radio on the call. Frank Frangie with the Jaguar Radio Network as the Jaguars opening drive touchdown every week here on the fifth quarter. We do give you a drive of the game. That drive of the game is brought to you by our friends at Randy Marion Cadillac. And let's do it right now. The Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
9 plays, 69 yards, 4 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock, ultimately culminating in a 9-yard touchdown pass. Trevor Lawrence to De'Ami Brown. Coach, when you take the ball, most people want to defer to the second half. Not Liam Cohen. I believe this is back-to-back weeks now. The Jaguars have won the toss, and they want the ball. What does that tell you about his coaching style? And, by the way, they've gotten points on both opening drives, a field goal last week and the touchdown this week.
Well, I think what he's trying to do is get these guys to understand we want to start fast.
Yeah.
We want to score first. We want to start fast, and we want to be the attitude and set the tone for the team. And have the defense come on and look at us and say, hey, they set the tone on how we're going to do things, how we're going to run, how we're going to continue the drive, give the confidence to the team as well as field position.
641-1010 is the phone number if you want to get in. We're with you for about another 20 or 25 minutes here on the fifth quarter. By the way, Philadelphia just beat Kansas City. The Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2. I can't begin to tell you the last time the Chiefs were 0-2. It's never happened, I believe, with Mahomes, certainly. But losing to Philadelphia in Arrowhead today, Indianapolis beat Denver on a last-second field goal, and Arizona defeated our friends up there in Charlotte with the Carolina Panthers. So all the action is over until Sunday Night Football that starts in about 50 minutes with Minnesota and Atlanta, and 2 games tomorrow, Tampa Bay, Houston, and Las Vegas and the L.A. Chargers. Back to the phone lines we go. Let's go to the north side. Let's get Brian in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Brian, what's going on?
Hey, good evening, guys. So just a couple points. Number one, Brian Thomas Jr., as you lamented today, not his best performance at all. I do want to say, though, the one or his best play of the day ended up being wasted, which I thought was a key missed opportunity, and that's right before the half, I believe it was.
Yeah.
When the Jaguars took the shot, he deflected the ball to Travis Hunter, who it was right in his lap, and he let it go. That missed an opportunity at 3 that obviously could have played the game differently toward the end. But I go back to that to say my main point today, I'm with you, Ryan. I don't see how anybody can blame Trevor for today's performance. In my opinion, this was his best game since that Monday night game against Cincinnati in 23. And again, if you factor in, the Brian Thomas Jr. play on the pick, and if Travis Hunter catches that ball, you're talking about 3 or 4 touchdowns today, well over 300 yards. If that's not good enough to win, I don't know what is. I'll take your comments off the air.
Brian, appreciate it. I mean, it comes with the territory, Coach. Quarterbacks get blamed. I mean, it's just what happens. But today, to me, is not the day to blame Trevor Lawrence. If you want to blame the referees for the Travis Hunter defensive pass interference, okay. If you want to blame the defense for letting Jake Browning tear them up, okay. If you want to blame De'Ami Brown for dropping a touchdown, if you want to blame Brian Thomas Jr. for what appeared to me not giving maximum effort on a couple of balls, there's plenty of blame. Walker Little, 2 plays where Trey Hendrickson just went around him like he wasn't even there. If I'm blaming people, Trevor Lawrence is considerably down the list for today's loss.
No, like I said, he played well enough to win. He could do better in situations, but you wouldn't nitpick his situations as being the reason why he didn't win today. There's enough other reasons why. And we'll just have to get it cleaned up. It's going to be what's his leadership this week to get it cleaned up and get everybody to play on the same page and be accountable for their actions.
Let's head out to Arlington. Let's get Adam in here on the fifth quarter with Jerald, Ingram, and Hacker. Adam, how you doing?
Hey, Hack. Hey, Coach. Just wanted to say thank you so much for what y'all do every week. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate you listening. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I got 2 things that I wanted to get your opinion on. For one, anybody who's still on here and can hear my voice, I'm firmly under the opinion that Gladstone and Cohen were brought into this organization to turn around not just Trevor Lawrence, but an entire organization that had adopted a culture of losing. And to me, I think that's something that takes time. So my first question for you and Coach would be, how long do you think that would normally take to turn around a culture like that? And then my second would be just about all of the motion penalties. Do you think that some of that is evidence of, that advanced play calling scheme and people just trying to understand it and that just taking more time? And I'll take your comments off air. Thank you, guys.
Adam, appreciate it. Coach, you were a coach in the collegiate game and the NFL game for 28 years, 18 of which in the National Football League. Have you ever been a part of a game where 5 illegal shifts were called on one team in one half of football?
Haven't been with Tom Coughlin 23 years, no.
I mean, that's unbelievable, right?
It totally is. And then not to get it fixed, that's a whole nother story. So, like I said, some of that is on the quarterback to make sure everybody is set. And it's on the people because they're all trying to learn, just like Travis. It's one thing. You line up as a left tackle, you think you ever got a shift in motion. You line up there as a left tackle all your whole career, okay? But these receivers, they're expected to try and create mismatches and coverage decisions and checks and blitzes and side adjustments. There's a lot that they have to learn when you're motioning people. You're getting lined up and motioning and everything else, and you got to know the timing of it all. But not to get it fixed is another issue in itself. To get it addressed on the sideline, to get it addressed on the huddle with a sense of urgency, there wasn't enough sense of urgency to get that confusion fixed. Sometimes receivers will be going towards the line of scrimmage. That's another issue, okay? It just has to get fixed. And what we saw, it didn't get fixed soon enough.
641-1010. There's some people on the line. We'll get to you in just a moment with the coach, Jerald Ingram, the hacker, Ryan Green with you. And then what he said about the culture, the losing culture. Now, again, it's worth noting over half the roster wasn't even here last year. Do you think Johnny Munt or Hunter Long or Austin Johnson or Eric Murray give one flying droplet or rat droplet of you-know-what about the culture of this team in 2018 through 2024? Of course not. They weren't here. They didn't experience it. But for the guys that were here, Trayvon, Hines Allen, Foye, Tyson, Wingard, there's a few of them, right? I mean, I would think most of those guys are veteran savvy enough to where you don't need to learn how to win. You're not going to Jaguar. Jaguars are going to Jaguar. I've seen that on social media a lot. Is there anything in the back of your mind, though, if you're one of those guys, that you say, oh, my gosh, here we go again? Is this Groundhog Day? Because we've lost so many games just like this in the last couple of years.
It's just like the caller just said, how long does it take? These guys, a lot of these guys have not been together. Now, they are pros, but they haven't been here long enough together. Now, what they do have, and this is what takes time, is to buy into the system and buy into each other, that they're on the same page to try and win, okay? They're starting in 2 games. They're starting off fast. They're looking good. They look from the top down, from the ownership, the head coach, how they're treated, and how the players around them is what's expected of them and what is accepted. Now, if you accept the play that happened today, yeah, things are going to continue. If it's not acceptable on every level, the accuracy of the quarterback, the steps that the receivers take, how he lines up, how the defense lines up, all the little things that matter that make up a team that becomes a winner, and they buy into it. Not having a head coach that lets things slip by and thinking that, it's going to just happen one day. Then all of a sudden it happens one day. Everybody becomes accountable. Everybody's expected to become accountable because they do believe in winning and they do want to win. That's when you're going to see things change. But right now, as far as at the top, I think they're bringing a better product on the field that we've seen in the past. I think there's a better offensive line structure of people playing right now. There's a lot of areas that are better. And I think on defense, Walker and Allen are playing more consistent. I think they're going to increase the level of expectation. I think the linebacker play, it's great to see our linebacker make a play today.
Yeah.
Okay, both of them. So there are little things that we all have to be a little bit patient with because it is a first year for everyone. Okay? Now, we don't want to wait for another year. But what we're looking at, I see it happening a lot faster than that. It would surprise me that we don't get this straightened out because we all are watching the NFL. It takes, with no preseason ball, it takes 4 or 5 games to really get fine-tuned as a team. Kansas City wouldn't believe that they're 0-2 right now.
Yeah, the Chiefs are 0-2 as Philadelphia just beat them moments ago out there in Arrowhead. Let's head up to Savannah. Let's get Kevin in here on the fifth quarter. Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm sorry I'm tuning in a little late. I hope I'm not repeating what you've been through, but a couple of things that really hurt us was our returning the kickoffs out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You get the ball at the 35-yard line instead of the 25, which probably was the average of our return, which was inexplicable. I don't understand why we kept doing it. And I think Trevor did cost us at least 10 and maybe 14 points. The interception in the end zone was totally uncalled for. That was typical. I hate to say it. I'm a Trevor fan, but that's a typical Trevor throw. Terrible. And also, the time when he rolled out and threw the incomplete pass in the end zone, he could have walked in the end zone. He could have walked in the end zone, and he elected to throw it. I think it was an overthrow in the back of the end zone. So I'm not blaming him for the loss, but between, everything else that went wrong, that really didn't help us. Thank you, guys.
Kevin, appreciate it. Yeah, look, am I saying Trevor Lawrence played great? No, of course not. Trevor Lawrence did not play great, but I don't know who did for the Jacksonville Jaguars. There was issues all the way around. You take issue with the caller saying that Trevor could have walked into the end zone?
When that was first said on commentary, when the game was going on, I thought I saw a defensive tackle chasing him on the naked on that. So, he might have gained yardage, but I don't think he was going to score. It'd be interesting to see that on tape.
Yeah, we'll watch that on tape tomorrow. I'll ask you about that tomorrow night on Hacker After Dark when the coach joins me. Let's get one more caller in on this side. Let's go to Fleming Island. Let's get Matt in here on 1010XL. Matt, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, Mac? I just think that I think our biggest deal is Trevor. I think that he needs to take a leadership role. You saw when Travis Kelce got in Jawan Taylor's face week 1. He headbutted on Monday night. We need some of that from Trevor. He's not good in the red zone. He's not good with short passes. He throws them way too hard, too much velocity. Yeah, Brian Thomas should have caught that ball, but that's just not a good throw. Trevor needs to take a leadership role to what he's getting paid. And I think that's our biggest issue. I think we've got a great coach. I think the defense is overperforming. And I think it's Trevor. I'm putting this loss on Trevor, 100%.
Yeah, all right. Matt, appreciate the call. Thank you. Trevor doesn't play defense, and Trevor didn't let Jake Browning drive the ball 92 yards for a game-winning touchdown there in the final moments, and Trevor didn't make Jake Browning look like Joe Montana for portions of this game. So I would not put 100% of the loss on Trevor, not even close. We'll come back. I want to shift gears to Houston. If you want to get in, we still might have time for a call or two, but next week is a gigantic week. There's going to be a lot of stuff about next week's game. The Prowler uniforms are coming back. Coach, you remember those very well, I'm sure, from back in the day. Azeez Al-Shire makes his return to Jacksonville. Houston's playing on a Monday night tomorrow. What is that going to matter for them in a short week coming here? And the Brian Thomas Jr. situation, that will be a story this week. What player in the Jaguar locker room needs to talk to him? Is that Trevor Lawrence's job? We'll talk about all of it next. Fifth quarter, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
For the first time ever, Beards Diamonds brings you names like Rolex, Cartier, Van Cleef, and Tiffany. Mark your calendar, September 18th through 21st, 4-day premium estate jewelry event. This is a spectacular buying opportunity. Your chance to own the world's premium brands. Ready to own the Rolex of your dreams? Beards buyers have scoured the country, handpicking high-quality pre-owned Rolex watches. All the hard-to-find models: Submariners, Datejust, Skydwellers, Yachtmasters. Over 100 pristine Rolex timepieces to choose from at exceptional value prices. Plus, showcases filled with Tiffany rings, Cartier necklaces, Van Cleef pendants, exquisite rare gemstone pieces, the finest estate jewelry in the world at prices you never thought possible. And for this special event, Beards is selling loose diamonds at unheard of prices from 1 carat to 10 carats. Dazzling rare diamonds marked down to rock bottom. Don't miss this unprecedented event. The finest names, the highest quality, the guaranteed best values. It's Thursday through Sunday, September 18th through 21st. Come early for the best selection. Beards Diamonds at St. John's Town Center.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through September 30th. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville, and now's the time to drive away in luxury.
That's right, Jennifer. The $7,500 tax credit ends this month. It's your last month to take advantage of this incredible opportunity.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, drive the all-new electric Optique, Lyric, and Vistique. They are all in stock and ready to drive today.
See all of our inventory at Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.com or visit us on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent you.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
It's the blog players put their pads on for.
So we got to bring my thoughts and observations on our home team. That's what I share with you every week on my blog.
Roland Reach Plumbing brings you Hayes Blog on 1010XL.com.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Unlocked by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. The law firm of Farah and Farah and Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Go Gators!
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter, nailed down by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Jags have crowded the line. They're showing blitz, and they're coming. They're all coming. Browning fires to the right side instead, and it's going to be caught by T. Higgins. Broke a tackle into the end zone, touchdown. He beat Tyson Campbell, made the catch. Tyson and Dewey kind of collided with each other. Higgins kept his footing and went into the end zone for a 42-yard touchdown.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio. T. Higgins was outstanding. Jamar Chase was spectacular. Cincinnati gets it done, 31-27. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we give you an injury update. That injury update is brought to you by our friends at Farah and Farah. Let's do it right now. The Farah and Farah injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now, Jarian Jones left the game with a back, came back in. I know Hunter Long got a little banged up on the opening kickoff, and quite frankly, I don't know how much he played after that. We saw an awful lot of Johnny Munt. But with Jones coming back in the game, again, knock on wood, if you're looking for a silver lining, 2 weeks in, the Jaguars are reasonably healthy after 2 weeks. And that brings me back to the coach, Jerald Ingram here. We'll hopefully be able to take one or two more calls if we have time. If not, we certainly apologize. We got about 10 minutes or so left. Brian Thomas Jr., that's going to become a story nationally this week. It already has on social media, which is where these things blow up. Him alligator arming some balls or making business decisions. Nationally, it's also being picked up. Liam doing this to his chest towards Trevor, and Trevor kind of looks like waving him off. Now, Trevor and Liam addressed it in the postgame. Nationally, I've already seen people making a deal out of that. So there, you talk about adversity. There will be some adversity for this team this week. And I guess my question to you, particularly when it revolves around BTJ, who in this locker room is going to talk to him? I mean, Liam Cohen's going to obviously talk to him, but from a player perspective, is that Trevor Lawrence's job to go talk to him this week and figure out what's going on?
I mean, if it hasn't happened already, those two just working it out professionally, and it'll happen tomorrow with the quarterback, because obviously your quarterback and receiver relationship is something you have to depend on and count on. And if there's something wrong, they'll have to work that out. How we handle this is one thing, and how they handle it is the most important thing. And I think the head coach will handle it the best way he can on a one-on-one situation, and then address the team and how they have to handle it. And he'll probably handle it like, hey, we're all going to be put in certain situations this year, and we have to fight through that. And number one thing we have to do is count on each other to be accountable and dependable, for getting our jobs done. And when you're in a questionable situation such as that, it's not good. It's seen by everybody. It's on tape. That's your resume. That's who you are. That's your player character. And people are going to use that against you and your team. And I think it'll be handled. And as far as, the quarterback and the head coach, is because, the head coach is passionate about things. And you listen to Brady and some of the Brady's talks now that he's retired, and he talks about how Bill Belichick was tough on him. Mm-hmm. And it was a good look for the team, Brady said, the players felt like, they didn't just treat Brady like he's God. He's like everybody else. When you're wrong, you're wrong. And you stand up for it. And, it's a better message as a team, as you're saying, team wins.
Texans next week. Let's get there next. They play on Monday Night Football tomorrow night against Tampa. Then they have to travel here. They'll travel on Saturday. It's early in the year. Maybe this might be a bigger deal later in the year, but nevertheless, it is a short week. People seem to make things out of Monday night teams to have to go on the road the following week. Is that going to be a problem for Houston, in your opinion?
Well, it's a short week, but I think when you're playing a division team, you kind of feel like it's not like you're playing a non-division team and you have to prepare more for what you don't know. Being a division team, you already know. Plus, early in the season, what you usually do in the off season, you try to prepare, for your first 4 or 5 games in the off season on what you think you need to do to win the division. So you got half of that done. Now you want to see where they're playing. So what's more key is how they play tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. And do they see something different? Do they come up with injuries? There's a lot of things that can change based off of tomorrow night's play.
With the Texans coming in, that means the return of Azeez Al-Shire, who obviously last year ended Trevor Lawrence's season with a brutally dirty, ugly hit where he was ultimately suspended 3 games by the National Football League. Jaguars have a new coaching staff. The Jaguars have a ton of new players that were not on the field that day. guys like Ezra Cleveland, Anton Harrison, Walker Little, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Etienne were on the field that day. What will emotions be like when Azeez Al-Shire returns to Jacksonville next Sunday?
Well, I like to think that's that's an inspiring thought on getting things done, because if Leon was here, he'd tell you, you put that on the offensive line. You don't do that to our quarterback. And that's a pride thing for your offensive line. And I think how they handle it in the run game and wanting to hit him in the mouth on every play and finish blocks and just taking people to the dirt, I think that's an advantage, because you did that to our quarterback, and that's not going to happen, and we didn't forget.
Let's try to squeeze in one or two more calls before we wrap it up tonight. Let's go to B-Man on the south side. B-Man, how you doing?
Hey, man, how you doing today?
Doing well. What's on your mind?
Man, nothing much, guys. I just want to keep it on a positive note. Yeah, we took a loss today, but we got a lot of good stuff that we can look forward to. We're still a new team. We're learning everything. We got new players. Yeah, we made some mistakes, a couple drop passes, but we're going to have a good season this year. The illegal formations, and all that other stuff we can encounter, but nobody's to blame. At the end of the day, man, we just got to stay positive. It's just one loss, and we're gonna do really good this year.
B-Man, appreciate the positivity. Thank you as always for the call. Final call of the night. Greg in St. John's, you got about 45 seconds. What's on your mind?
Hey, Hack. Hey, I was just curious, calling in, just listening, but the Brian Thomas Jr. drop over the middle, two guys were hammering down. Trevor got him lit up in preseason, and when you hear the old quarterbacks and wide receivers going over the middle talk, they always talk about my quarterback would never lead me into trouble. So I was kind of curious on what coach's take is on that, because there's no doubt he was being led into trouble there.
All right, Greg, thank you for the phone call. Coach, we got to go quick, but what is your thought on that? Similar ball in the preseason. Brian Thomas Jr. took a pretty decent shot coming across the middle. I would have to think, though, that you're going to have your same thought about BTJ today and what he should have done.
Well, the thing is, like you said, he made a business decision, and you can't. That's not acceptable. You learn how to snatch the ball. You know how to snatch and cradle. The catch. You know where you are. You're in the red area. There's not a lot of room anyway. So we've seen phenomenal catches over the years and receivers taking hits. So I'm not going to give him leeway, on what's acceptable or not. Now, it's one thing if it was out on the field and it was a dig route and he was really late throwing it. You have to throw quick down there. There's not a lot of room. You're playing in a tight basketball gym. So if you have any kind of inside breaking route, you're going to get hit. So you got to know how to catch the ball and take the hit at the same time. But you can't T-Rex or Gator a ball.
Coach, hopefully we'll have a brighter show next week. Houston comes into town. I know you're going to join me tomorrow night on Hacker After Dark. Thank you as always, my friend. We'll do it again next Sunday.
It's always great being with you.
That is the coach, Jerald Ingram. R.J. Saunders was your producer. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. The Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We have been presented by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Jeff Prosser will be in this studio at 6 a.m., and we will kick off 16 hours of local programming tomorrow. I will join you tomorrow night beginning at 8 o'clock on Hacker After Dark. Until then, have a very good Sunday evening, Jackson.